I think that we'll now begin this press conference. I must say, first of all, that I have put my mobile phone just in front of me to remind me to tell you you must switch yours off. You have headsets and can follow in English. Channel 1 is French, Channel 2 is English, and Channel 3 is Italian. I'm saying this for the sake of our friends up here at the podium. When there are questions in French and English, they will be translated into Italian, so you can follow them in Italian. Before I actually introduce all those present at the table, I would like to say that I feel moved in being here. I'd like to remind Paolo that this is the 5th time we've been here together for a press conference. It was my pleasure to moderate the press conferences for the consequences of love, the family friend, Il Divo, This Must Be the Place, and now La Grande Bellezza, the Great Beauty. So this is long-standing work we've been doing together, and long may it last. So I look forward to seeing you again in 2015 for the next film. It's my joy to welcome here at the table Umberto Contarello, who is a writer who was here for Il Divo. Carlo Verdone. He doesn't come often, but he is a tremendous star in Italy, unfortunately less well known in France. Tony Servillo, who you all know. Paolo Sorrentino for the 5th time. Sabrina Ferilli. And the producers, Nicola Giuliano, and I would also like to mention Francesca Cima, co-producer with him, who's present in the room. Fabio Conversi, who is also accustomed to being here. He's been here for any number of Italian films. I would also like to add, given the large number of actors in the film, although it's not a whole choral, we couldn't, of course, invite everybody, but I'd like to mention them. Ayaforte, Pamela Villoresi, Galatea Ranzi, Anna Della Rosa. I might give a special welcome to Roberto Eslicardo. Roberto Erlitzka, we saw in one of Mario Bellocchio's films recently in France. And Giusy Merli, of course. Isabella Ferrari, who we have seen on many an occasion in France. And finally, Anita Cavos. And I hope I haven't forgotten anyone. We're going to start right away. May I remind you that you should ask short questions. Please stand up and introduce yourself, so we know who you are. The moderator usually puts the first question, so I'd like to ask a question to Paolo. We know that Paolo is from Naples. How did you discover Rome? Why did you want to do a film on Rome? I've gone to Rome regularly. I, in fact, lived in Rome when I was young. I worked there, then I moved elsewhere. Over the years, I have always noted down little anecdotes linked to things in Rome. The idea is that all this could become a film. And this idea was finally born, the idea of the character of Tony. With Umberto, we therefore started to write so that the character portrayed by Tony would be a sort of a witness of a whole world, while at the same time being a kind of biography which really matched the story. Of course, we could talk about Rome for a long time. We'll take this first question. Dominique Landron, you have the microphone. Good afternoon. I loved your film. It was a 21st century hit. I think it was quite a stunning film. This was the impression of many journalists yesterday. Did you want to portray a decadent society in particular? In the film, there is something that is said by the actress who plays the part of Santa. She says, "You don't talk about poverty, you can only live poverty." So it's like a summary of the film. The film doesn't try to tell a tale, it simply tries to portray a poverty which is not a material poverty, but a different kind of poverty. At the same time, we're not trying to pass a negative judgment. Rather, we're simply portraying what they are, and they symbolize our country.
Sono Maria Lombardo del quotidiano La Sicilia.
Maria Lombardo, La Sicilia. Paolo Sorrentino. Clearly, you are referring to the Dolce Vita by Fellini. Rome was the city of La Dolce Vita. Now, Rome is a city which is very cosmopolitan. Is it different from Rome in Fellini's time? Fellini said that he invented everything in La Dolce Vita. So I'm not sure that there was a real link between his film and the actual situation at the time. Insofar as my film is concerned, however, there is a very inward-looking vision of things. Italian directors who love the cinema, like Fellini, have always talked of similar topics. They are very meaningful. But otherwise, I don't think there's much of a link between my film and La Dolce Vita. For obvious reasons, La Dolce Vita is a masterpiece, and my film, well, it will become a masterpiece too.
Hai fatto bene a interrompermi perché mi sembrava la chiusura più.
You were quite right to interrupt me. That's the best possible conclusion one could reach. What about the part played by Fellini in the film and Mastroianni as well?
A me è capitato già altre volte stamattina, perché questa domanda viene fatta spesso.
Several times, even this morning, I was asked this very question. I have the impression that Fellini viewed Rome in a given light. In his wonderful film, it looks as though he sort of fell into Rome. He fell into the middle of this city. You may recall that the film was supposed to be called The Great Confusion, and someone suggested it be called La Dolce Vita. The beautiful confusion, the great confusion, referred not only to the confusion that reigned at the time. Italy was totally different from Italy today. We're talking about the beginning of the economic boom just after the war. The great confusion was something that wasn't necessarily negative, because the title, which wasn't actually chosen, did refer to beauty.